Hello folks, Typhoon Carter here, and I bring to you another Smogon Premier League matchup. This is a week 3 showdown between SFG and former Shanghai Sharks legend Gilbert Arenas. Nah, I'm just kidding, it's Marcop everybody. Marcop at 1-1 after a huge win against Void last week, whereas SFG also at 1-1, so you know this is a bit of a crossroads game between both players who had a ton of momentum going into this tournament. That being said though, let's jump right into this. Infernape lead, Rose lead. This is a pretty bad matchup for Rose Rate for obvious reasons. Because Infernape, I mean, depending on what the set is, this could just be choice band Infernape, which is something that SFG actually did bring last year. You could just fake out, did not get rid of the sash, and then, you know, Fire Blast. Or he could, you know, just U-turn, do a crap ton of damage on the Rose. Whereas for Marcop, I mean, it's probably Sash Rose Rate, and he'll probably just look to get Toxic Spikes up regardless of what happens. Got Fire Blast turn 1 here. And T-Spikes are going to be thrown up here, and it's a Mix Ape on lead. Not something you actually see on lead often, and Heatran coming in, showing Scarf. And Latias is going to be a follow-up here, so SFG probably brings some kind of hard offense here with, you know, Infernape Latias, probably a Pursuiter like a T-Tar or a Scizor, perhaps. Probably a Scizor, that's something that French players tend to like to use, but either one is a possibility. Whereas for Marcop, you know, you're showing Heatran. This tells me that this is either a Chopo-Tran or a Scarf-Tran. Depends on what we might see. I mean, I would expect there to be a Swampert in the back if he's like going for a more traditional Rose Tran build, but Infernape's got to pivot back in and going to pop the Lumberry. Okay, so Lum and Infernape actually a pretty nice touch here, and Jirachi was the pivot, so great pivot there by SFG to put himself in a fantastic position now to just let some moves rip, you know, let Fire Blast go off, and the Jirachi is revealed to be Scarf. And Latias is going to pivot into this. Marcop might want to look to scout out the T-Tar switch. And got pivot in and going to meet a Metagross instead, which is interesting. And oh, it's just gonna die. Alright. That was an interesting decision. I think Marcop might have been banking on SFG to try and respect the switch there, which was why he went for rocks. If it was Shuka, I feel like I would have probably felt much more safer trying to make that play. But this tells me that this Metagross, if SFG stayed in there, it was either a very, very hard read that he made there, or it's a Akaberry meta, if he was willing to take that risk, or, you know, something like that. But yeah, so SFG firmly ahead now in terms of numbers and in terms of position, because the Rotom is going to come in and it's just got to substitute up here, and Rocks are going to go up. So this might be Sub-Wisp Rotom or Sub-Split. We don't know. T-Bolt's here. Probably go to Sub again if I'm Marcop. And yeah, he's just got to Sub again, and the Infernape is going to go down. And the Rotom's at decent health here, and the Tyranitar is going to be sent out, but he may or may not have Will-O-Wisp. Yes, he will have that. Crunch is going to break the sub at the very least, but this Rotom can be annoying. He's going to need to keep health. Yeah, there was a Swampert indeed. So yeah, this looks like have like a classical, you know, Fire Water Grass Cord build that might be a little bit iffy in the Clef, but well, you do have the Scarf Jirachi, and you have Healing Wish Lati, and it showed Ice Beam, so this could be a mix pert on Marcop's end. I don't know for sure. Could just be defensive. I think defensive is more likely. Go U-turn here, crit, going to kill, but not sure if that actually mattered. Burn might have actually done it in anyways. Latias is going to come out here, and it will probably fire off a Draco. And the Draco is going to miss, actually. So Marcop's kind of climbing his way back in, and oh, it's a Scarf Lati. U-turn's going to nab a KO there, and Swampert's going to be pivoted back out. How's he going to follow up here? Meta is going to be revealed, And Gengar is, oh, this might be rough. Into a Rotom, that is the last thing that Marcop wanted to see. Got Shadow Ball here, and it's gonna do decent. Oh, that's a really bad SPDF drop there. This is bad because if Marcop, say, had Waterfall or anything along those lines, what Marcop could have done was he could have at least eaten another Shadow Ball and then go into Torrent range and then try to, you know, KO the Gengar that way. However, the problem now is that Marcop either has to, like, if this Latias is max speed, which I highly doubt it is because it showed lefties, he has to rely on Jirachi to get the job done. But the problem is Jirachi's at 23% here. So good patience from SFG to kind of look for an opportunity to bring the Gengar in and to put pressure on. But yeah, this is brutal. And yeah, oh, crit. That is not good, as that Metagross is way too healthy. And yeah, Marcop probably kicking himself, regretting not bringing in the, or keeping the Heatran around from earlier. Meteor Mash is here. It will live this. And Rotom will probably get a Pain Split off. That's 61%. And oh, that is a bad Meteor Mash raise to have to deal with. Will-O-Wisp will at least cut the attack down a little bit. And oh, gets another Mash raise. So SFG is kind of getting a little bit more mileage than what he expected. And that sub will break because of the +2 Meteor Mash. That may or may not have been a roll. And just got Explode here, and now Gengar's got to have free reign here to come in. And Latias looks like it's just going to be sacrificed here. Doesn't die, surprisingly. Oh, there we go. The Sand's going to do it in. Jirachi's going to have to flinch its way out of this, or just KO it outright. And Lucario is the last, which is the last thing that Marcop wanted to see, and this is probably a Pikel team or a John team. Good. Oh, it's faster, and Ice Punch will outright KO it, and that Jirachi is not living. And SFG is going to win this one, and he's gonna go to 2-1 on the season. And Marcop's going to go to 1-2. That is a very frustrating loss if you're Marcop, because I think he did well to climb his way back into a strong position in the game, even though I think letting go to Heatran was a little bit rough. But I think that was like a call where I could kind of understand what he was thinking. And for SFG, I mean, Ice Punch, Lucario kind of saved him a little bit there because of the fact that, like, one, well, actually, no, the Rotom, like, the Gengar's kind of threatening, but Marcop, I think if the meta doesn't get the double mash raise, if he gets one mash raise, like, it's okay, but if he since he got two, it was like he couldn't keep the sub up. And because he could not keep the substitute up, this meant that, one, if the Latias, say, had EQ or Hidden Power Fire, for example, then using that to potentially get rid of Lucario wasn't an option. The Rotom being sub-split, oh, he's probably 298 Rotom if I had to take a gander. Or something along those lines, or it might have just been like 286, creep up to that, and then, you know, leftover investment in like defense or whatever. And then the Swampert getting SPDF drop was like kind of annoying, but like in the grand scheme of things, I'm not sure how much it mattered, but I digress. That said though, if you guys enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.